Welcome to Section 3.2, Part 1. This is the 23rd session of the CISSP Exam Prep Series. In this session, we'll cover how a continuity effort gets off the ground. We'll answer several questions. What is the project's scope and planning phase? And what goals guide it? How do you review the organisation to find who has a stake? Who belongs on the continuity team? And why does senior leadership involvement make or break the whole thing? Why does this matter beyond the exam? Because the strongest plan in the world fails if the wrong people wrote it. Imagine a manufacturer where only the IT group builds the continuity plan in a back room. When a fire hits the plant floor, the plan says nothing about the specialized machines that actually make the product. As a security professional, you set the plan up to succeed by getting the right voices in the room from day one. So what is the project scope and planning phase? And what goals guide it? This is the setup phase, and it rests on a proven methodology rather than guesswork. 4 goals steer it. You perform a structured review of the organization through a crisis planning lens. You form a continuity team with senior management's blessing. You assess the resources available for the work, and you study the legal and regulatory landscape that shapes your response. There is no single template that fits every company, so you tailor the approach to your size, culture, and business. Think of it like planning an expedition. Before anyone packs a bag, you map the terrain, pick the team, count the supplies, and check the rules of the region you are entering. How do you review the organization to find who has a stake? You perform a business organization analysis, a structured look at every department and person with skin in the game. You map the operational units that deliver your core services to clients. You capture the critical support groups, like IT and facilities, that keep those units running. You include corporate security, since they are often first on the scene and guard your physical sites. And you loop in senior executives whose leadership keeps the organization viable. This analysis matters for 2 reasons. It seeds the list of potential team members, and it lays the foundation for everything that follows. Whoever starts the analysis, the full team must revisit and validate it, because the first pass often misses functions that only insiders from other units would recognize. Think of it like drawing a map of a building before an evacuation drill. Miss a wing, and the people in it get left behind. Who belongs on the continuity team? This is where isolation becomes dangerous. When only IT or security writes the plan in secret, 2 failures follow. The plan misses knowledge that lives only with the people who run daily operations. And units kept in the dark tend to resist the plan when it finally lands. So, you build a broad team on purpose. You want representatives from the core service departments and the functional areas your analysis surfaced. You want IT and cybersecurity experts who know the plan's technical ground. You want physical security and facilities, staff who guard the buildings. You want attorneys who understand your legal, regulatory, and contractual duties. You want human resources to handle staffing and the human toll, and public relations to manage messaging to the public. And you want senior management to set the vision and free up resources. Every member carries a bias toward their own department. And that is a feature, not a flaw. Handled well, those competing voices balance the final plan. Handled poorly, they turn into turf wars. Think of it like assembling a jury that reflects the whole community. The wider the perspective, the fairer and stronger the verdict. Why does senior leadership involvement make or break the effort? Because visible support from the top signals to everyone that this work is real, not a box-checking exercise. When a senior executive actively backs the plan, skeptics who would rather spend their time on operations suddenly take it seriously. Leaders also do things no one else can. They set priorities, allocate staff and budget, and settle disputes over which services truly matter most. There is a legal weight here too. At a publicly traded firm, officers and directors can be held personally accountable when they neglect reasonable preparation and a disaster then devastates the business. Continuity spending is not optional. Their fiduciary duty to shareholders demands that adequate measures exist. Think of it like a captain who not only orders a lifeboat drill, but shows up and runs it. The crew takes it seriously precisely because the captain does. So let's bring it together. The project scope and planning phase sets the effort up on a proven methodology guided by 4 goals: organizational review, team selection, resource assessment, and the legal landscape. The organisational review maps everyone with a stake and must be validated by the full team. That team must be broad, drawing from operations, IT, security, legal, human resources, public relations, and senior management, so no critical knowledge gets missed. And senior leadership support is the linchpin that gives the whole effort authority, resources, and legal grounding. Set this stage well, and the analysis work ahead has firm footing. The MCQs covering all the topics and concepts from this session are available on rucloud.com. Practice the chapter-specific MCQs before moving on to the next session. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions or feedback, post a comment below or email us. I will see you in the next session.